welcome to another AgroBuzz, our weekly agricultural program right here on Durain's Coffee Break. And this morning we turn our focus on the banana industry. Now we all know Jamaican bananas, like a lot of other of our local produce, have a really great reputation for their flavor and quality. And these fruits, whether ripe or green, are in high demand both on the domestic and the export market. And I see so many people every day supporting the vendors, buying up the bananas, say great, great, great. But like some of our crops, Jamaican bananas are also been affected by hurricanes, by disease, and more recently, the horrible droughts we've been through in 2014 into 2015. But the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, RADA, and the Banana Board have been pulling out all the stops to work with the banana farmers affected to ensure the speedy resuscitation of the banana production. In fact, banana and plantain farmers from the parishes of St. Andrew, St. Mary, and Portland, who were hard hit by last year's drought, were recently provided with planting materials and fertiliser as the Ministry and RADA continue their island-wide drought mitigation and rehabilitation program. In a handover event held at the Orange River Research Station of the Ministry in Highgate, St. Mary, 227 farmers were provided with over 5,000 plantain and banana suckers to boost their efforts to replant and rehabilitate their farms. Speaking at the handover event, Portfolio Minister, the Honourable Derek Kellier, said that in addition to other farmers island-wide, last year's drought had significantly impacted farmers involved in the revitalization of the banana and plantain industry, which was a critical one both for the economy of the parishes and the country at large. Now, here with us this morning to tell us more about this revitalization efforts and the current status of the industry is Mrs. Janet Coney, who is Managing Director of the Banana Board. Good morning to you, Mrs. Coney.
Good morning, Doreen. Thanks for having me.
Right, how's your morning so far?
Very good so far. Started very early, but very good so far.
Did you have your banana this morning?
Always bananas with my cereal every morning.
Trust me, man, whether it's cereal, whether it's a fruit, whether it doesn't matter, it's so good. And I'm really happy to see so many people out there purchasing it from the vendors. Really like that. Now, to start us, can you tell us the current demand for Jamaican bananas? We know what's happening here locally, but overseas especially.
Let me just tell you, last year the whole of Jamaica produced about 65,000 tons of bananas.
Yeah.
And that was a little bit of increase on the year before, 3% increase.
Okay.
And that was phenomenal in light of the fact that we had a drought.
Right.
And that is because we are really working on this revitalization and because of the great resilience of the banana farmers.
Yes.
But we're still not making the demand that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
If we should meet just very conservatively some of the demand that is there, we would need about 90,000 tons of bananas.
Wow.
And that would give us, let me tell you, that would give us for export 10 containers weekly.
Okay.
It would also satisfy the increased demand that we know we will have with the new rooms in the hotel trade.
Yes.
And that has to be satisfied by local producers. And so that is what we really would be able to do. And by virtue of what we have in our resources right now.
Yes.
But we are working towards that. We are hoping that by next year, with all of the strategies that we will have, we will get up to about 60,000 tons.
Good.
And so we're doing it in stages, and it's a multifaceted strategy, but it's working in spite of the drought. And as you had said before, you know, what happened to the farmers, especially in St. Mary, St. Andrew, and the parts in the middle of the island, we hope to mitigate with some more strategies.
But thank goodness we didn't have any hurricanes to blow down any of those trees last year. But
oh yes, and we really don't mention that word because that is something we really don't want to have. Right. But we have access for that as well. We are encouraging farmers to join the catastrophe fund, to pay your fees, and so when that happens, you can benefit and be able to restart as quickly as possible.
How many farmers listening to you about that part of it? Because every year we hear about they've lost this and
Exactly.
So how many have you approached and how many have said yes?
We have put it in a newspaper. We have advertised at all of our meetings, and it's an annual event. It's not something that it's by Christmas. It comes every year.
Okay.
We start registration in January. We end by April, but this year we are extending because of the drought.
Yes.
That they must register staff registration by the end of March, and we give them up to the end of April to pay off.
Okay.
And so that is out there, and you can come into the Banana Board. You can do it at any time. But we're telling you that you must mitigate for the hurricanes, especially with the catastrophe fund. And there are other insurances out there, other micro-insurance policies that the Banana Board has worked with some of the private providers to give as well. Okay. And this is what we have to do when we think about mitigating. And it's not just for bananas. Right. Because hurricanes affect every crop and every livelihood. And so clearly we have to take care of our business and our future.
Yes. And have any payment plans to pay the insurance? Because we know that can be a little steep sometimes.
All right. The catastrophe fund allows you to pay in stages. Okay. You have to make a first payment by the end of March, and you make another payment by the end of April. Okay. It's not very expensive. It's just $1,500 per acre that you pay, and you're covered for the year.
Okay. That doesn't sound bad at all. And the fact that you have some insurance just in case. Now, there are various types of bananas, I'm told. I just know the big ones, and I call them like a shiny bump ones. Tell us about some of the different types of bananas and the uses.
All right. I just want to tell you that, you can't tell about all of the bananas in this program because there are really 4,000 varieties of bananas.
What are you telling me?
In Jamaica, I'm just telling you, in Jamaica we know of 400 that we know of here. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the most common ones that people are aware of. The ones that you see, as you were mentioning, that are being sold on the roadside, and that you're more than likely what you have growing in your backyard, those are in the group that we call Cavendish group. In that group, you have varieties like Robusta, which is the one that we are promoting amongst the farmers who want to grow bananas for ripening, because it stands up to the drought a little better than the others. There are other varieties that are more high yielding, like Williams and Grand Name, but those you have to cultivate with irrigation. They don't do well if they suffer from any lack of water. Alright, then there's another variety that other people are aware of, long time, called Lacatan. It is still in that Cavendish group, but it grows very tall. And commercial bananas, you have to visit the tree, put on a sleeve or in the blue sleeve, you have to do some bunch care until you need access to the bunch. So we don't recommend that too well. A fine banana, but we don't really recommend it too well. And that is the major ones in the Cavendish group. There are others, but I won't go into all of that. But there is another one, which is we call the Rolls Royce of banana, which is Gros Michel. Jamaican people call it Gros Michel. But that one, it tastes lovely. It's a nice, smooth texture, very sweet, and the peel is harsh, doesn't bruise very, very, very easily.
Is that a different color? Is that from the yellow?
No.
No, you know the difference.
Oh, well. We know the difference from the peel, and we know the difference from the configuration of the fingers. We can tell you, but I think that's going to take me a little while.
Another program.
but people who are banana, people know it. If I go to the market, I can tell the difference. All right. So you do know it. And it's very rare because if you grow it in large areas, it comes down with Panama disease, which is the reason why we don't have large areas of that. Which is the reason why we're not exporting that. Over the world over, because it comes down with that. But it's a real nice Rolls Royce of bananas. There's another group of bananas, we call it Silk Group, and that includes that one that you talk about, the bumpy. Most people call that apple. There's one that goes a lot of fingers, we call that 1,000 fingers. There's another one that is honey banana. It's bigger than the bumpy or the apple, but very sweet and have a lovely flavor. But this one too comes down with Panama disease. You don't see the large numbers. But the taste very nice. Then I want to tell you a little bit now about the new varieties that they're introducing. This is really what I want to talk about. These are what we call the spear varieties. The ones we spoke about before, they come down with a disease called black sugar disease. It's a leaf spot disease that takes off the leaves until you have to spray to get good commercial yield. This new variety that we're introducing are the spear varieties, spear 17 and spear 25. You don't have to spray them. They don't come down with the disease. If they don't come down, it's very, very minimal. You don't have to spray. And also, they are ideal for cooking. They peel very easily. They will stain up your fingers. They cook in 5 minutes. They remain soft even when they get cold. You know, something like when you leave
understand. I agree. Guess what?
And the biggest sell of it, it produces about 30 to 50% greater yield than the normal variety that's foreseeable.
Wow.
So we're really pushing that, and that is some of the varieties that we're distributing to the farmers who were affected by the drought.
Yes.
But even before we had the drought, we have this program going on.
Right.
And this program we have been doing since 2010, and the government of Jamaica is actually giving the industry a viticultural lab so we can mass produce these varieties in bigger numbers. So in the future, we'll be able to really grow the production and grow the productivity that we really want.
That sounds excellent. Mrs. Coney, guess what? Time is up and we're doing start. And I mean, the fact is, I understand you have different types of plantings. Listen, man, we have to go and continue this conversation another time because I need to know, you hear me about 4,000 banana different species. I need to know that there are more than one type of planting. So we have to continue this another time. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it, Mrs. Coney. Have a great day today.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'll be glad to come back and share some more of our successes in the banana industry.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very special guest this morning on AgroBuzz, Mrs. Janet Coney, Managing Director of the Banana Board, and of course, telling us all about the resuscitation programs for banana and plantains, the favorites of the Jamaican diet, and also the demand for the export trade. Love it, love it, love it. Remember now to support our local farmers as we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. And don't forget to visit the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries website at www.moa.gov.jm and join us again next week for another AgroBuzz.
Go, go,